Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Learn with Dr. G. Today, I'm going to be doing something that I have never done before. So if you have done this, make sure that you help me out in the chat. And if you haven't, we will learn together. We're going to be exploring some mixed reality in video game development, and I'm really excited. So let's get started. As always, I wanted to remind you of our code of conduct here at Microsoft, which essentially just says, let's be kind to each other. I will be kind to you, be kind to me. We're here to learn and explore and just have some fun. So what are we going to be doing today? Also, I know that I sometimes talk loud. I have adjusted my mic, I think. Oops. Okay, I think I have adjusted my mic to be a bit better. So if it's hurting your ears, please let me know. I've pushed it back a little bit, and I'm going to try to control my my tone here. But please feel free to let me know in the comments. Awesome. Hello. I have not figured out how to show all of the comments yet using StreamYard, which is what I'm streaming from, but I will show comments as we proceed. So today we're going to be exploring mixed reality, and I'm really excited about this. I actually just did a stream yesterday. Well, actually, we published it today. It was pre-recorded, yes, turning volume down works. And I got a chance to chat with three amazing people who work on mixed reality and video games and kind of the integration between them. And they made it was just so amazing. They have been doing this for a very long time. So they already had their environments set up. And I have never done this before. I have developed a couple of games in Unity in the past, but I have never done mixed reality or virtual reality or any of that kind of stuff. And I've never integrated the two. So I figured today would be a great day to try that out. A Microsoft HoloLens Industry Summit on January 27th. Good to know. Thank you. I'm definitely going to check that out. That's tomorrow, isn't it? Oh my gosh, how is it already January 27th? Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, I'm really excited. This Friday, we're actually going to be starting the What You Didn't Learn in School series, which will be announced on both YouTube channels, whichever one you're watching on, and also on Channel 9. So you can stick around for that. But today I had kind of the opportunity to just explore something new. So we're going to be exploring mixed reality. And I am on a Windows machine. And so that's what we're going to be using today. We are going to be using Unity, which basically we're going to be and if we get to the point where we actually get to do some scripting, which I really hope, we're going to be doing it in C#. And these I'll be posting some docs in there. Oh, great. Mary Jo Foley, Windows Weekly, gave us that tip about the Microsoft HoloLens Industry Summit. So thank you. So if we do get to the chance of doing it, I just wanted you to know kind of what environment we have set up. I do have Visual Studio Community 2019 installed, and I have Unity. I'm going to kind of post all of these in just a second. So let's figure out what we're going to do here. I also really hope Amelia showed us how we can integrate kind of build your own flight simulator, where we integrate the Maps SDK, 3D SDK into it. And she was able to do it in 10 minutes. Again, her environment was set up already, but it was amazing. And that's what made me really excited. So maybe we'll even get to do that. I'm excited. Okay, so the mixed reality toolkit for Unity. Let me make sure I get all of these links here. So actually, first I want to show this link here. And I'll paste it in the comment as well. So then that way we can all see it. And this will actually send us to the Start Designing and Prototyping Docs page for the Mixed Reality Toolkit for Unity. And there's so many docs on this, which I really, really appreciate, because there's so many different things that you can do, including choosing different platforms. So I'm really excited. I'm going to stop saying I'm excited. So these docs pages have some, so what is mixed reality? That's a great question. Let's start there. Is it augmented reality, virtual reality? That's what mixed reality essentially is. It's kind of both. So in some cases, you might be doing augmented reality. In some cases, you might be doing virtual reality. These toolkits, from my understanding, which is fairly basic, is that they allow you to kind of integrate with both. So you might be wearing a device that takes in the real world, but then like a lot of it is not actually there. It's kind of like in these holograms, as you can see in this GIF here on the screen. Or some of these toolkits also just allow you to do it on your phone, so you don't need to wear like a headset or anything like that. And so it's more of the augmented reality where you just kind of see it on your screen. And then pure virtual reality is when you put the headset on and it's not integrated with your environment. So I think augmented reality tends to be like you have your environment and you can kind of put a device up and see something new. Virtual reality tends to be something where it's like you're only in a headset and mixed, kind of all of the above. Hello, Ashish. I hope I said your name correctly. And these docs will kind of walk you through some of those. So there was this, if we kind of head through these docs down here, what I found, and again, this is my first time. So I kind of, scrolled through this. We got a good intro to everything. And then it was mentioning, okay, let's choose our prototyping option. I actually do not have a headset. So we're going to do everything in Unity and only with, okay, great. I'm glad I said your name right. We're going to be using Unity and only just on a computer. So the very first thing was, first of all, they recommend that you learn Unity, which I also recommend. I'm not great with Unity, but I have built a video game, and it's been a little bit of time. But this Learn Unity site here actually does walk you through a lot of the essentials, including design, art, and kind of the code and all of the above. So I do highly recommend checking this one out, this site. It's at learn.unity.com. And then there is the Mixed Reality Toolkit, which is actually this GitHub repo that is publicly available. And that will be right here. You can find it at aka.ms/LWDG, run with Dr. G /MR-toolkit-repo. Yeah, no problem for the definition of mixed reality. Feel free to clarify in the comments if you know more about it, and I encourage you all to learn more about it as well. So this GitHub repo has the mixed reality toolkit that you can then use with a HoloLens 2, other mixed reality, Windows mixed reality headsets, an Oculus Quest, OpenVR, and OpenXR. So a lot of platforms that it supports, and also mobile devices. So like I was mentioning, sometimes you might want to wear a headset. Sometimes you're going to do more of the like traditional augmented reality where you have your phone and you put it up to a storefront. This was like my very first intro into augmented reality was something like this, where you put it up to a storefront and then it might give you information. It might give you their hours, might give you their website, it might give you, reviews or coupons or things like that. Hello on Twitch, Zorero, I think. Nice to see ya. So it does also support like iOS and Android and things like that. Awesome. All right. Perfect. Sorry, I got distracted trying to make sure I was looking at all of the chats because we do have this other place up here. Okay, perfect. So how do we get started with this? There are a bunch of documentation. There's an overview of it, some feature guides, an API reference, and then it kind of lists all of this software that we need. The neat thing about this repository that I really love is that it has these feature areas, which are just kind of like an example for all of these different types of areas. So an input system is going to be the different types of input, whether it's like your hand in space with kind of a headset, a device that you have in like a controller that you have, a traditional controller, an iPhone, etc. The eye tracking, April and Sarah and Amelia yesterday spoke a little bit about eye tracking in the HoloLens 2. So apparently the HoloLens 1, it would do kind of a head tracking to know where you were generally facing. But the HoloLens 2 will actually do eye tracking where it looks to where your eyes are looking. So even if you don't move your head, it can track your eyes. There's also some like speech and dictation, different diagnostic tools, etc. And then in here, you can see some of the UX building blocks. So a really neat thing about toolkits in general is that you don't have to reinvent everything. You don't have to rediscover how to like pick up a 3D object that isn't actually in your physical space. Things like bounds control, where it has the bounding box around the 3D object that you're using. That is already built for you. And, you know, you can definitely go into the back end and try to figure out and rebuild things if you want to learn that. But if you really just want to start where, you know, a bunch of experts who have been working on this for a very long time left off with this toolkit, I highly recommend it. So things like buttons, and when, you know, it comes to buttons, I remember the first time we had like the phones that had no real buttons, right? Just kind of a screen, what we have today, and the haptic feedback, right? That was a really big thing when the first ones came out, because it was so awkward to just touch a piece of glass and not know whether or not you were touching the button. And in a like a mixed reality world, that's even trickier, right? Because you can't even have haptic feedback unless you were wearing some kind of glove that could detect whether or not you were in that same space. So maybe you use things like sound or like a vibration on the set, or I don't know, something like that. So there's a lot of different UX features that are just available to you from within this this toolkit. I mean, there's a lot. And then there's also some tools that you can use and some example scenes. So what I'm hoping is that we can get to playing with this in some way, shape, or form. So I'm hoping that we can do that. Looks like there's also some sample apps like the periodic table of elements, a galaxy explorer, and then surfaces. This is so cool. I'm discovering this for the first time with you all, so I'm really excited about it. All right. So I kind of want to see, actually. Well, one thing that I started to do was, if we go back to this page here, which was the MR Toolkit page, pop that back into the comments here. One thing that I liked was that it had right away install the tools. And this will take you to this page right here. And that's what I started to follow right before this stream. I was like super excited after we recorded that and posted it this morning. And so I really wanted to start following this. So the first thing you need is Windows 10. You need Visual Studio 2019 16.8 or higher, which I realized about an hour ago I had 16.7. And luckily I was able to download, install, and restart my whole machine before the stream. You need the Windows 10 SDK, a HoloLens 2 emulator, and then again, you get to choose between various engines. We're going to use Unity. So they recommend Unity LTS. I think I have 2019 already installed, so we should be good there. And then we need to import the mixed reality toolkit. So one thing that I noticed, I think still wasn't working. Let me try to do this again. I was trying to install the HoloLens 2 emulator. We're going to try doing this together because I think this is the one that that was giving me errors, but it might be because I was trying to install 501 other things as well. I'm also definitely running out of disk space. That's not good. So I'm going to go ahead and try to install this now, and hopefully that'll work. But this page right here, the LWDG/MR-tools, that's going to take you to this page here. That's going to walk you through all that. I also cloned, well, I forked and cloned this repository, the Mixed Reality Toolkit for Unity repository. So you can find this one at mrtoolkit-repo. Grab that. So mrtoolkit-repo will actually take you to, yeah, perfect, the Unity one. There's also a generic one. If you take off the -Unity, it'll take you to this generic repo that'll then suggest that you go into either -Unity or -Unreal. So if you are using Unreal instead of Unity, you can do that. So I forked and cloned this repository. So I do have that cloned now. And all I did so far was open this. Oh, goodness. So I opened this project. Let's go ahead and just do that again. I'm going to exit and show you how I did that. Just so then that way we're all on the same page. I opened up Unity. And after cloning this, you can see I just have it in a OneDrive folder. So I said open, and I chose the Mixed Reality Toolkit folder. And when it opened, magically, oh no. I think it's because I tried to, yeah, I think it's because I tried to open it as if it were a new project, but I already had it open. So let's try this again. Oh, hopefully this works. Otherwise, I'm going to be really sad that I just closed it. So it was definitely just working. What is going on? Let's try that. What? What's the difference between Unity and Unreal? That's a great question. You know, I actually haven't played around with Unreal a lot. So I'm not, I think they're basically just two different companies. But let's, versus Unity. Yeah, so Unity uses C#, Unreal uses C++. Oops. Didn't mean to. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons. So it looks like in Unity you need to get a playmaker. I don't know this. I don't know if this is exactly, but I think it's basically whether or not you want to use C++ or C#. And then of course, certain games are built in Unreal and certain games are built in Unity, and probably certain SDKs or toolkits are going to be built for different ones. So, but they're kind of the same thing. One nice thing with Unity using C# is that, well, I guess, I mean, you could kind of do this for any of them. But I feel like it's just less context switching for me. Like I'm either in Python or C#. So it's just less context switching for me. But that's a great question. Okay, now I'm just very upset that Unity all of a sudden doesn't want to open this for me, and it's making me a little bit nervous. Why? Let me try opening some other project that I had done a long time ago and just seeing what happens when I open it. You're going to laugh if you see this. If it works. I feel like it's crashing. What is, oh, here it goes. Cool. So then as this is attempting to work, okay, so this can open. Awesome. So now let's open project from here maybe, and let's try this one again. Please work. Hello. Why it's saying moving this temp file. I don't even, the tag present in the reparse point buffer is invalid. I don't need you to move temp files. Oh, goodness gracious. Unable to write file. You know what I might try to do is let me try to move my project to a different, do I need to run with admin permissions? It might be. And I'm thinking it might also be because I had it in my OneDrive, which probably isn't the best idea. I should probably put it just on my desktop. So let me try to do that real quick. Let me just move from OneDrive because I bet OneDrive is requiring permission. So it's even like worse than admin, right? In terms of it might need to have my like credentials. And I don't need to do all that. It does not need to be on OneDrive at the moment. Let's go ahead and just move this over to desktop. Move this over to desktop. Okay. So that is moving. And then did it move over? Let's see. Are you done? Did you do it? I don't see you on my desktop. Let's try this again. Let me open up a new file explorer. I was trying to move two different ones, but I feel like it should have been able to do that. Mixed reality, toolkit, Unity. Come on. Why won't you move? Let me try quitting this and let me try quitting GitHub Desktop. Maybe it won't move it because it's like being used or something. The other thing we could do is just try to clone it. I also have, let me just show you this also because this was super exciting. Rename the temp file folder. Maybe copy your project, not move. Yeah, let's try all of the above. So first, let me just try copying the project and pasting it. I feel like I'm getting no feedback on my screen and it's totally creeping me out. Like, why are you not indicating that anything is happening? Copy, paste, and like nothing. Hello, wake up. Well, while I'm trying to figure that out also, I did want to show you, because I told you that I got really excited by the Maps SDK. So we also, another thing that I started to do was download the Maps SDK, which you can find at LWDG Maps SDK. And this is so cool, y'all. So this actually brings in 3D Bing Maps into Unity and allows you to explore the real Earth, which is what Flight Simulators does, right? Like that's why the new Flight Simulator is just so cool because it's the real Earth. And so it's really a flight simulator for the real Earth. And so this allows you to bring that into Unity. Like how cool is that? Oh my gosh. It just made me so excited. And I literally just, this is why we're doing this today, because I saw that and I was just like, this is absolutely amazing. So I was thinking that we could do something like this. What you do need to do is get a Bing Maps key, which I did sign up for that. So basically you just head over, there's kind of like a how to do that over here, getting started. So getting started information, it's on the repo, and you need the Windows 10 Fall Creators Update, which maybe that's part of my problem. But Unity and then Visual Studio, and then you need to get a Bing Maps key, which is just in the Bing Maps Dev Center. So I have keys here, which I will delete afterwards because there's not a good way of like hiding things. But I created a key just now. And then basically you plop that key into Unity. And you should be able to open up a sample project. And then you just kind of like add in the key and create a map and use things. I'm not explaining that well. Amelia did a very good explanation of that during the stream this morning. So let's see what this is. So first of all, what is, I'm definitely not going to be able to do this because I'm not going to be able to restart during my stream. So that makes me really sad. I didn't realize, I totally did not realize that this said FCU. I'm wondering if we need that just for the Unity project though. So that one did copy over to my desktop correctly. So I'm going to, let me locate this since I moved everything and go into this one and you know what I can do? I have an idea. Let me open up. Yes, the link to the stream from this morning. Let me get that for you all right now. Here it is. So if you're watching this after the fact, you should already be able to see it on the same playlist that we're currently on. Yeah, definitely. So, sorry, what I'm trying to do here is basically, all right. I was thinking like, what if I just don't understand why this doesn't want to copy and paste. All right, we're just going to go ahead and reclone because I can't deal with it right this second. Where am I? This is it. Code. Open in GitHub Desktop. Open. It's saying that it's open somewhere, so I can't do that. Where are you open? So this finished. Awesome. But like you can't be open anywhere because I don't here. Maybe remove. I bet it was open. No, what is going on? This folder, goodness. All right, clone repo. We're gonna go to URL and we're just gonna grab this. Don't you love live coding, everyone? Isn't it the best? Okay, I want you to just go here. Yes, clone. Thank you. All right, it's going to take a little while. While it's doing that, let's go through this README again. We recommend starting at the Unity journey. Let's take a look at the overview. Oh, this is like an overview of the, this is like a full-on overview. I just wanted like one of these ones. So what if we tried to build, I don't know, does anyone have any preference? I was kind of thinking it would be neat to do like, where did that, there was like a getting started, wasn't there? Live coding, no pressure. I know, all the pressure. This one, I just want to do this. Can we just do this? I just want to see all of this inside of Unity, please. You can try out various scenes. You can do pre-built app packages for HoloLens, HoloLens 2, MR headsets, under Release Assets folder. Use the Windows Device Portal to install apps on the HoloLens, but I don't have one, so it's fine. See examples page README to learn about details on creating multiple scenes within the system. Okay. Anything you can recommend? Anything I can recommend for what? Did I miss? I don't know which one you're talking about. So okay, this example scene. So here's this example scene, and it's the hand interactions example inside of the demos hand tracking scene, and it's this Unity project. Yeah, it might need powerful machines, you're right. Yes, my own purpose. That is a good point. Okay, so now this has been cloned onto my local machine. Now let's try to open it in Unity, and hopefully it doesn't get example. Oh, anything I can recommend. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so now let's try. Can I like delete you? No? Okay, fine, whatever. I mean, I bet I can if I find, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, selecting this folder. That's fine. So that's just saying that I had a slightly newer version of Unity than the project was built on. So I may need to re-import some things. That's what that error message that was super tiny said. So now we're just waiting for Unity to, so when you open up Unity, you open up a launcher, and then that has where you can kind of choose the projects that you might want to open. And so once you've chosen one, the launcher closes, and then it kind of gets everything ready to open Unity up. Supposedly, if Unity opens, that's what's happening. There we go. So now Unity is actually opening up. I'm going to be very, very sad if this does not actually get to the point where we can do this, and all we got to see was a screenshot. But that's all part of this process. Because remember, I was here. I did do this. Why did I close that? So it uses Text Mesh Pro. So we are going to have to import TMP Essentials, and then the TMP examples and extras. If you see large text after the Text Mesh Pro import, open another Unity scene and then open the example scene once again. So if we see this, then we need to do that. And then these are all of the different things that we'll get to do in it. So pressing a button, the bounds control, one or two hand manipulation, the slate. So I think that is like a scroll type of thing. So more of a 2D, a system keyboard. These are all the things that we'll get to explore. So hopefully we'll get to head over into this buttons page here, and we'll get to do some of this fun stuff. So again, this is what's really neat. So inside of Unity, by the way, Unity is still trying to install. You were just showing us how easy it is to open a project. Yes, I know. The issue is not necessarily opening the project. Something weird is happening where the project that I'd cloned, like, it won't get out of my my OneDrive. I don't know what's going on. I can't deal with it. So if you have never developed in Unity before, Unity is basically built on what's called prefabs. And a prefab is basically kind of like an object, not necessarily a 3D object, not necessarily something that you can see, but oftentimes is. So a prefab is an object that may have a lot of different features associated with it, such as scripts, but also things like textures or lighting, or just kind of a bunch of stuff. So this toolkit provides you with some prefabs of buttons. For example, an interactable button, a pressable button, a circular pressable button, or a pressable button for the HoloLens. And so these are what all of those button prefabs look like. So you can see that there are some switches, there are some check boxes. We've got kind of like a 3D effect here. We have some that look a little bit more 2D, some radial buttons, a pressable round button. And so if you're building a whole new video game or a world or kind of an interactive mixed reality experience, you can bring these prefabs in, and those buttons will already be pressable and they'll already look like this. And then you can start to slightly modify what they look like or what they do from there. Turn it off and turn it on again. That's basically what I did. I just re-cloned, and we're kind of starting from the back. Plating, so they're showing you that you can have a back plate to kind of show where the bound of the button is. So even though the white button part might be a little bit more in 3D space, that blue back plate might allow you to see where that button is a little bit more, but you can definitely have it without a back plate. And then this is going to guide us through how to use the pressable buttons. So again, you can create a canvas in your screen. You do so by clicking on the Game Object menu, then UI, then Canvas. And then in the inspector panel for the canvas, you're going to convert to an MRTK canvas, add this, what is the word for it? It's like, I'll show you when we get into Unity. Oh, looks like Unity is done loading. Whoo, look at, okay, knock on wood. Where's wood? I don't know. Knock. So what we have here is it's asking if the mixed reality toolkit can auto apply some settings for this project. That sounds great to me. I don't know what settings you need, so that sounds great. So this is Unity if you haven't seen it before. I'm going to try to give you a little bit of an overview. So up here, we've got the menu. So remember when I was just saying that we needed to create a canvas. So here's that game object menu. These different buttons up here allow you to interact with 3D object in different ways. So one is kind of like just a move, a grab, kind of spin it, grow and shrink it, things like that. This right here allows you to either see the scene as you're building it or see it in the way that the game is seeing it. So when you actually start to play the game, then you'll see it like that. You pretty much always start with a scene that has a main camera and a directional light. So here is the camera, and here is that directional light. And the camera is going to be whatever the game part sees right here. So that camera in your world, that's going to be what you see once you start playing the game. And then you can always apply more light, but you need light to be able to see. So that's what the directional light is for. We also have some like a console down here and a project, which we'll get into in just a minute. The thing about game development is often there are going to be a lot of different warnings depending on the type of project you're doing. And at least in my experience, warnings are just kind of a part of the world, a part of the game development. Obviously, if you're building a, amazing actual consumer-facing game, you're probably going to want to be paying attention to all those warnings. I just like to play around, so I'm not too worried about warnings. Over here, you'll see in just a minute, we'll start to add things to the inspector. So the inspector, if you recall when it was saying that we need to do game object and then create and then canvas, and then it said go to the inspector side. So this is going to be all the details for that particular object. Like I mentioned, a prefab is kind of like a class of object and kind of like, and then you create one and then the inspector will have all of the details for that specific object inside of your world. And last but not least, up here, we do have the play and pause and kind of move forward buttons. So the play button will enter you into game mode. Pause, you can pause the game and kind of go and look through code or whatever you might need to do. And then the play button again, if you push it again, then you'll kind of stop playing the game. Okay, so we can go into this project area over here, and we can see that we've got this asset folder that has a bunch of other folders in it. And this is where, if we were to open this inside of an Explorer, that asset folder is going to be pretty much the same. So let me make this. So of course, we've got some things that are just meta files for Unity. So those meta files aren't going to be shown. But we do have the mixed reality toolkit folder and the MRTK folder, which are the same in Unity as it is inside of the actual folder. So that's how the projects relate to each other. So inside of assets, we can open up the mixed reality. Oh, no, actually, I think I want to open up this. This is the MRTK. And then inside of examples, I believe, and then demos. And then we were going to do the, which demo were we going to do? I think we were going to do like the buttons, which was under hand interaction examples. So assets, MRTK, examples, demos, hand tracking, scenes, hand interaction example, .unity. So we need to find hand tracking, scenes. And so in Unity, a scene is kind of like your world that you're building, and you're going to put all of the objects in there. So now we want to do this one. So we open up our scene, and we will import the essentials. Y'all, we're almost there. This might work. And sure, I don't know that I need that, but let's go ahead and import that. I am planning on just doing some streams outside of the official kind of like Learn with Dr. I really just want to play around with this some more. So if you want to follow along with some of those streams, and I am definitely going to try to get into putting in that map, that 3D maps. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at Dr. Guthels, and I'll post when I'm streaming for that. Okay, so I think that worked, because those are gone now. Did you work? I don't know. Okay. And I don't see the big words. So let's go back to our, okay. So if we see the big text, we didn't see the big text. So now see the button pages for details. I do want to see the button pages for details. So under the buttons prefab folder, you're going to find those. Okay, let's just try to see what's going on here. So I'm going to click. So, oh, okay. So let's just play. Cross your fingers. Is this going to work? I don't know what's happening. Oh, I hope this works. Oh my gosh, look at how cool this is. Oh, this is so awesome. Okay. So I'm using WASD to kind of just like look around. I think, is there, okay, so if I right click, I can turn. So if you did have a mixed reality headset, you can actually connect this up and actually play with it. I don't. So I'm going to stop playing this right now because I do want to actually maximize on play. So then that way we can see this a little bit better. So I'm going to go back into the game, and then up here, you can see that it's got some different settings for when you are in gameplay. So I'm going to click on this maximize on play. And now you can see that it's like a little bit lighter colored. So that indicates that it's been pressed. So I'm going to go into play now, and then this is going to maximize it into the entire Unity window so I can see a little bit better. Okay, so like I said, I can use WASD to move forward, left, and right. I can right-click on my mouse to move my quote-unquote head. And now I think we can kind of go up. Let's just kind of go up to these buttons and see what happens. It is like recognizing that I'm clicking. Is that just... but it's not actually doing anything. Interact with the piano. I'm trying to remember. Oh, look it. Okay, space bar. So if you see, let me back up a bit. So if when I push the space bar, that's my hand. And then if you see there's like a tiny, it's really hard to see right there. Do you see that like tiny little circle? That one right there. So that line is going to be the line for where my finger is, and then that tiny circle is where I'm pushing. So if I come in here, then I can, and then how do I, oh, okay, so shift gives me 2 fingers. And then I'm trying to remember, so let's bring this, I don't know how to, oh, all right, I don't know if y'all can hear that. I feel like maybe you can't. Let me unshare, or sorry, let me stop and then add, nope, hang on. Stop screen, and then I'm going to reshare, but I want to share my audio. There you go. Okay, so if I'm in Unity and I push the space bar to give myself a little finger, and then I get onto this keyboard. Okay, let me, what was it? Right click. And then can I, yeah, okay. So then, ooh, sorry. 3D space is not necessarily my jam when it comes to, I was trying to just kind of see it a little bit better. Okay. I think I'm not super great at understanding all of this, but that's okay. But yeah, that kind of worked. So I can grab this object. So what I'm doing is pressing spacebar to see the hand, and then I'm pressing the left key to interact. So I can grab things. I can grab these and make them bigger and smaller. Y'all, we have like 5 minutes and I did it. I'm sorry, but I'm just like so excited. I can't believe that this actually worked. So I can make the cheese very big. We can go ahead and grab, there's the bounding box. And again, you can kind of make them bigger or smaller. Touch interaction. I don't remember what all of these ones were supposed to do, but I can pick up the coffee mug and like, whoosh. Do you see how it the line is not necessarily straight because it kind of indicates actual physics? And again, this is why having a toolkit is handy, because indicating kind of like a fast motion versus slowly, oh, look, I just dropped those blocks off, versus slowly bringing it over affects how the cup is going to interact, right? And so I can kind of knock over the cup there. We can grab this little like rover thing and little moon lander. Can I land it on the cheese? Oh, dropped it. So these ones over here, they're on this little line. So these 3 objects have gravity associated with them. And that's why they have to be on this little table. And when you drop them off this table, they just disappear. So when we dropped this one down here, it just disappeared. It did end up reappearing. And we can try to see some of that code in just a second. So can you virtually emulate the MR environment? Yes. So, I mean, this is kind of doing that right now inside of Unity. If you had a headset, you would see this in the headset. And then there are the emulators. Did the emulator fully install? Now I can't remember. We've got like 5-ish minutes left. Where were we on that? We were on the, so we've got that toolkit set up for HoloLens development. You might want to use the HoloLens. Oh, the HoloLens emulator. So let's go ahead and check that one out. So I did install it. And then here we go. So you'd have to load it up into Visual Studio. Okay, I don't think we have time to do all of this one. But yes, I definitely want to check. See you later. Thank you for joining. I definitely want to check that one out. But yeah, so when you do have the HoloLens emulator, I mean, it's going to be essentially what you see inside of Unity as well. But yes, having the actual emulator would be a lot more accurate. So let me see if I can see a couple of these things here. So if I stop playing, it's going to take me back to this scene. And we can see over here, this scene content is going to have all of the different examples that we were just taking a look at, right? And so if maybe we do the manipulation examples. Yeah, the lunar model. So the lunar model is this one. So if you double click on an object over here, it'll zoom in the scene to that object. And then it'll also, if you just click on an object, it'll also bring up over here in the inspector all of the things related to that object that you can then edit. And some of this stuff, some of this is actually like scripts. So for example, this one right here is a C# script. And you can click on it and it'll just show it to you here. You can also open, I was hoping I could choose what I was going to open it with. I think it's just going to choose whatever it wants at the moment. Yep, Visual Studio, which makes sense. You can actually set it to open Visual Studio Code instead if you wanted to, but that's totally fine. So then you can open it inside of Visual Studio and you can edit the code to do, whatever you need it to do. And Unity and Visual Studio are actually connected, and Visual Studio Code are actually connected. And so if you do make changes, it's also just the same file system, but there are actual integrations between the two pieces of software. So you can explore that as well. So if we come back over here, it's still trying to load inside of Visual Studio. But we can actually do things like you can add in an audio clip. This right here, rigid body, that is what gives us the gravity. So we can uncheck gravity here. And then if we were to replay this, give it a second, and we were to look back over here and then bring in our finger and grab this little rover and now put it over here, now there's no gravity. So the rover doesn't fall. And in fact, it flies because it has a rigid body, which means that it recognizes when it hits other things. And since it doesn't have any gravity, when it hits something else, it kind of still had some velocity there. There's just so many different things. Look, here's the sliders. This is just so cool. I feel like I'm going to be doing way too many. I should really, so here's those examples of why you might want to have those back, so then you can actually kind of show that you've clicked something. So yeah, that's basically what we have. I know that some folks are heading out. As a reminder, please, if you wouldn't mind submitting the survey for us, it helps us to make sure that what we're showing you today and always is something that you want to see. And if you do want to see more of this kind of stuff, let us know. So you can just head over to aka.ms/reactor/survey, and the event code is 12536. And also, please connect with me on Twitter. I am just having fun learning new things and teaching new things and exploring new things. Like I said, on Friday, we're going to be starting a What You Didn't Learn in School series. So be sure to check that out. If you do follow me on Twitter, I will post anytime I am streaming, whether it is for this official series or just for fun. So as always, thank you so much, not only for joining me, and I was so nervous for this one because I literally have never done this mixed reality stuff in my life. So that was a lot of fun. I appreciate y'all engaging in the comments. And I really look forward to our next stream next Tuesday. We're going to be talking about an introduction to Git. And this Friday on both YouTube and Channel 9, Scott Hanselman and I did an intro to this series. So you should check that video out. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this. If you do make anything with the Mixed Reality Toolkit, please show me, or you play with Unity, please tell me about it on Twitter. I want to see what you've done. And yes, more XR. I think it's so much fun. I agree. So we'll definitely do some more of that in the future. But yeah, if you do anything, please, even if you literally wrote your first hello world in Python, I want to celebrate with you. So let me know, share with me. And until next time, I will see you all in the future. Bye, everyone. Happy coding.